नमस्ते, वेलकम.
जी भैया, नमस्ते भैया, सभी को नमस्ते.
Yes. Didi, if you want, you can keep your camera on. I will just share your information.
जी.
So, Geetha Didi is Associate Professor at Department of Computer Science, Government Arts Science College, Avinashi, Tamil Nadu. Didi joined UHV with her first session, first FDP in November 2020. And Didi has joined morning batch quite early, and in fact, this is the 13th time she is attending this. Didi is also participating in various activities. In fact, Didi is PRB in Students Development Program, sharing content with the students. Didi is also part of a Tamil translation team and also participates as a co-facilitator in face-to-face UHV FDPs. So, Didi, over to you.
Bhaiya, hope my video is on, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and your video is also visible.
Yes.
Ji.
Nice.
So, namaste to all. My name is A. Geetha, working as Associate Professor, the Department of Computer Science at Government Arts and Science College, Avinashi, Tamil Nadu. About my family, my husband runs Computer and Typewriting Institute. Our son is Monish and our daughter-in-law is Abhi. Both are IT professionals. As Bhaiya has started, I got associated with UHV from November 2020 during the pandemic period. Thereafter, completed UHV Refresher 1 and 2 subsequently, attending the UHV morning sessions from Jan to 2021. That is, from batch to almost regularly. For me, UHV is a way of life. It is helping me to understand the purpose, meaning, and goal of my life, and how to lead a fulfilling and serene life. Sharing my understanding emerging out of exercise 1 and 2. Exercise 1, step 1. Step 1 is to observe my imagination, particularly the feelings without reaction. I am easily influenced and provoked by others' words, comments, gestures, and behaviors. And easily and immediately I become unhappy, upset, irritated, agitated. With my 5 years of UHV journey, I can see the significance of exercise 1, step 1. If I am not observing, two things happen within me: overthinking and reaction. Overthinking about an unpleasant situation to the worst end. A common example: if someone doesn't pick up the call after several attempts, then my wild imagination will be he or she is purposefully avoiding me. I remember some past unpleasant events with them. Then I'll go to the extreme that he or she will spoil my reputation. From there on to some other bad experiences, series of chain of thoughts. I get stuck up with that issue, unable to move forward. By reacting, I mess up the situation. I turn solvable situations into unsolvable ones. Now, my observation without reaction has considerably increased, but many times I am sleeping. But those glimpses motivate me to be in the process. Steps 2 and 3. They help me to understand that only naturally acceptable feelings make me happy and harmonious and not otherwise. Many times I have observed that feeling of opposition makes me unhappy and uncomfortable. Before EHV, many times I pretended to be happy, showing that my life is going smooth. Particularly with one of my colleagues, I was harboring feeling of opposition for a very long time. Once, after a heated argument, while leaving the room, I said goodbye to him to show that I am so good. But internally, I was tormented with pain and hurt. But now I can see the futility of all those dramas and actions. Now, at those moments, if I become aware and if I see that this feeling of opposition is making me unhappy. And then, if I ask myself, who decided this feeling? That is step 4. Who decided this feeling at this moment? It is very obvious that it is me who decided that feeling. And because of that feeling, I am at discomfort. Some real time examples. A month ago, my sister's spouse was telling us that these days myself and my spouse are not arguing. Immediately, I got excited. Oh, it's all because of UHE and my transformation. But before I speak, my husband said that he has changed a lot and it's all because of him. For the very first time, I did not intervene at all. Truly, it was a big shock to me, but I remained calm with comfort because I know if I say it's because of me, again, it will trigger an argument and opposition from him. At that moment, feeling of relationship helped me to stay calm and guided me that it is not the right time to discuss. Another example. Once I misplaced my cash, frantically searching everywhere and suspected many in that hall. At that moment, I could clearly observe my feeling of opposition for those people, disharmony within me. But after some 15 minutes or so, I found the cash in my bag only. Then I had feeling of relationship for those people, an immediate shift. So like this, after the situation, when I probe within myself, who is fixing these feelings, it is crystal clear that I am responsible for my feelings. My feelings are my choice, my decisions. Then comes the next question. On what basis I am deciding my feelings? Step 5 comes to the rescue. Is it based on assumption or knowing? An interesting observation. The proposal, if I have feeling of opposition, I am bound to be unhappy, was like a threatening statement to me. So I assumed that I am forced to have feeling of relationship with no other choice. But now I can see it is natural for me to have feeling of relationship. It is my innate nature, which is based on knowing. But I need to work more on the knowing part. Step 6 and 7, it helps me to understand the reality, to align myself with that reality. In step 6, which feelings are naturally acceptable to you? Previously, before UHV, most of the time I was with feelings of opposition, disharmony, and struggle. And I suffered a lot, making my life miserable and pathetic. Now I can see that there is a need to understand the feelings of relationship, harmony, and coexistence in its completeness. Previously, I was limiting myself, unaware of my potential. I used to compromise with others for the sake of my family, society, with feeling of opposition. These days, my self-exploration and the UHV journey has helped me to resolve most of the issues with feeling of relationship. Now, I could see the power of feeling of relationship over feeling of opposition. It gives me so much serenity and peace. One has to experience those moments. Words fall short. Step 7. Similarly, if I have feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence, I can be happy and prosperous continuously and not otherwise. This time, my view about coexistence has improved. Previously, I assumed that all physical processes like boiling of water into water vapor, chemical processes like rusting of iron because of water, and biological processes like decomposition of dead plants into manure or referred in UHV as coexistence. That is, all these uh, physical, chemical, and biological process are termed in UHV as coexistence. So that was my assumption. So I was having the question, what's the big deal? But this time I could see that all units are energized, self organized, and are mutually fulfilling for each other. So it is much more than mere processes. In one PPT, under coexistence, it was mentioned ever present. Now I am able to relate to this word ever present. Yes, without coexistence, there is no existence at all. Utmost wisdom and guidance are already exhibited by existence as coexistence. Simply, I need to understand this and live by it. That's it. But steps 6 and 7 are not happening for me all the times. Conceptually clear as information. But to put in practice all the moments is a real challenge to me. So, this is my understanding about exercise 1. Now, coming to exercise 2, steps 1 and 2. Now, I am clear that self and body are two distinct entities, and I am able to differentiate the two realities conceptually. Two examples. First, if my favorite dress doesn't fit me, previously I used to complain that I had put on weight. But with awareness, I can clearly see that my body has put on weight, not me. Next example. Similarly, once when I was commented that I am not good looking, not dressing up well, not grooming myself well, I was totally shattered from inside. So much identified with my body and appearance. But now I'm able to see that I am not the body, I am beyond the body. So these self-explorations helps me to get over my false identification with the body. Also motivates me to scale up, not limiting myself with the body alone. Then space is still a question mark, is still a question mark to me, but I'm able to logically see that only because of space, self and body are able to transact information between them. Self being a consciousness entity and body being a material entity cannot interact without space. That much is clear to me. Steps 3 and 4. It is the self that decides what to read and when to read sensations from the body. That depicts self is the decision maker, and there is a clear separation between the self and the body. When I observe and focus, I can see that body is my instrument and I interact only when needed, not always. So this I'm able to experientially validate. Step 5 is an important step to me. The whole crux lies here, the meaning I am giving to that sensation. Here, my sanskars comes into picture. Previously, I considered myself as a good motivational speaker who inspires others to come up high in their lives, who help them to overcome their obstacles, who guide them to be successful in their lives. But now I could clearly see the hidden agenda behind these. I want to get name and fame. I wanted to be popular. I was longing to get appreciation from others. Next example. As I always wanted to impress others, to prove myself that I know all, prevented me to put us proposals in UHV demo sessions. Multiple times, my mentors and resource persons had said that I am not putting across as proposals. It didn't stuck me at all. I put it as statements and expected everybody to blindly accept it. all these hidden sanskars are now surfacing. Over evaluation of myself. So, over evaluation of myself. Because of this attitude, I struggled and made my life miserable in the family and at workplace. I can see how over evaluation leads to stress, ego, which leads to disharmony and struggle. There are many examples, but because of time, I'm giving only three. My other sanskars are tit for tat attitude, anxiety, jealousy, laziness, limiting myself, doubting others, dwelling on past events, resentment, differentiating, etc. My sanskars are my responsibilities. I am the owner. I am the admin of my sanskars. It is I who created it, accepted it. So I have to take charge of my sanskars. If I own the over, if I own the ownership, yes, I'm willing to purify it. And the best part of it is I have the potential to purify it. This understanding is helping me a lot, gives lots of hope to enjoy the UHV process and journey. Steps 6A and B. In exercise 1, step 1, we are asked to observe our imagination without reaction. It is a very important criteria because if I react without right understanding, my sanskars get strengthened. For example, if someone says ill of me, immediately I retaliate to disprove it. Then I enter into an argument. All these reactions lead me only to disharmony. That is, I react only if I harbor feeling of opposition, which always prevents me from seeing the reality. On the other hand, if I respond based on knowing, even though the events are not favorable to me, the doors are always open for different programs, as I am having feeling of relationship. By this, my good sanskars get strengthened, while the bad sanskars get weakened. Thereby, I can purify my sanskars. Step 7. Space is still an assumption for me, but I strongly believe it's only because of space all units exist in coexistence. And the underlying fundamental reality, existence is coexistence, is only because of space. So, this is my understanding about exercise 2. Fourth, happiness is my innate nature. Here, I would like to share this analogy. I am in a room where the glass window, I'm in a room where through the glass window, bright beaming sunlight is illuminating the entire room. But if the glass window is densely dusted, not even a single ray of light can penetrate inside the room. Yes, previously I used to complain and disagree with this proposal. Happiness is my innate nature. Now I am able to see how my glass window is dusted and cluttered with my sanskars, preventing me to see my innate nature. And also, I was complaining that life was not good to me. It is true that my guru is shining inside to guide me, but it is me who has to work upon myself to let it illuminate not only myself, my family, society, entire nature and existence. Commitments. Yashwant Bhaiya has already listed, but anyway, let me repeat the same. I am volunteering myself in weekly, regional, and monthly meetings. I am a part in UHV Tamil translation team. I am handling sessions in student workshop, acting as a co-facilitator in face-to-face workshops, attending morning sessions, sharing values, volunteering, and my self-exploration or daily reinforcing me towards right understanding. Still, I need to volunteer more, explore more. I have to contribute more. And I will continue my UHV journey for the rest of my life. Thank you all with gratitude to the entire existence. Namaste.
Ji, thank you, Didi. Very nice sharing. So now I should invite Sharimila Didi to guide us about Didi's sharing.
Didi, namaste,
Ji.
Didi.
Namaste, Geetha ji. As always, your sharings are very crisp and with lots of examples that everyone can relate to. And I think that's what makes your sharings so important and so relatable. So I think the fact that you are open and honest about your internal state and are very often willing to mention the disturbance inside and very clearly able to see the internal state and then talk about it. That I think is a very beautiful quality. And like I keep saying, the very first step to change is to acknowledge and accept our weaknesses. And in that regard, I think you have always been the one to be upfront about it, to talk about it, to talk about your weaknesses, even not just in small settings, but even in the morning session where there are so many listeners. And I think that makes the difference for you, not only to accept, but to go beyond that and to move towards change. I know that many changes have happened in you, despite the fact that you mention about the weaknesses and how slipping still happens. Gaps may be there. But I can also see the huge change in you from the time we started till now. I recall the very first time that you were putting your sharing, you had made slides and you were showing it as a PPT, and how you gave yourself that importance earlier, and now it is like you have merged with the others. And I think that is a very beautiful quality, a very beautiful sign of growth within you. And of course, your volunteering, all of that is appreciated. Geetha ji, in our weekly meetings, she is one of the first people to join, um, and one of the first people to notice the joining link and to comment on it and join in the first place. And I can see that even in the morning sessions, she is very regular and very committed to the whole UHV work. And all the very best to you. Best wishes for your future journey also, future explorations. All the
Thank you,
best.
Didi. Thank you so much, Didi. And your mentoring has always helped me, Didi. Thanks a lot, Didi.